Record hate as Say Gay Florida Representative Carlos Guillermo Smith has $330,000 in anti-LGBTQ GOP TV ad buy in final days. One of America's most watched election campaigns is happening right here in Florida. State House Representative Carlos Guillermo Smith, an LGBTQ plus Democrat from Orlando, is running for re-election next Tuesday. Smith received national attention for framing Don't Say Gay as part of the LGBTQ caucus in Tallahassee. During the 2022 session, he was a powerful voice against Governor Ron DeSantis. The radical GOP and the 2024 presidential hopeful won, but the bloody battle didn't stop there. 2 years ago, Smith won his Orlando district election by 9 points. But today, the world is completely different. The summer Governor DeSantis gerrymandered the district that increased Republican voters by 10 points, and now the district is a 50-50 toss-up. Then to put his boot to the LGBTQ Democrats' throat, he and the GOP are spending dramatic money against him. Unprecedented money. For example, an average state house campaign will spend about $180,000. Smith's Republican candidate opponent, who has never run for public office, has spent a jaw-dropping $1.5 million. You heard that right. A state house seat spending 8 times more than average. Worse, on Saturday, the GOP had a $330,000 new TV ad buy against Carlos Guillermo Smith for the last week of the campaign. The voice of the fight against DeSantis and Don't Say Gay took to Twitter yesterday, then followed up by email to say, quote, "Unfortunately, Halloween has arrived with some pretty scary news. Republicans are escalating their barrage of lies and false attacks on my record with a $330,000 TV ad buy against me this week. $1.5 million is a hell of a lot to spend on a state house race, but that's what the DeSantis machine is putting behind a barrage of lies and false attacks against me, one of Florida's only LGBTQ lawmakers. Why does the GOP want to unseat me this badly? What are they so afraid of?" End quote. It seems clear that Governor DeSantis is going to make an example of the LGBTQ plus candidate that achieved national and international attention opposing the culture war attacks from the GOP. We will follow one of America's most contested state races, and Representative Carlos Guillermo Smith will be a guest to talk about all this tomorrow on Queer News Tonight. Oye, leave Carlos alone. My God, how is he even supposed to win against this? I mean, he literally has been part of the Queer News Tonight show on numerous occasions. There is no one like this gentleman. He really is fighting for our rights, and tooth and nail. I mean, I don't think the guy sleeps. You know, I mean, how is he supposed to go against $1.5 million?
It's the clear proof of the authoritarian thinking machine that is coming out of Tallahassee. I immediately go back to Ryan's observation in terms of the poor output of the Democratic Party in Florida. The exact opposite is true for the Republican machine in Florida. The Republicans, the GOP broadly, certainly Governor DeSantis, the organizational structure has just been outstanding. If it was a Democratic machine, if we had the exact same machine, we would be going, my goodness, this is so incredible. Yeah. Unfortunately, it's against us, and it's against a candidate like Guillermo Smith.
Did Florida ever have any kind of Democratic machinery that could match?
Up until 1998,
that could match this, really.
Oh yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, absolutely. But it was a conservative Democratic state. I mean, yeah, we can go back into the whole history of all that. But just to put this in perspective, the average, like the numbers you meant, the average state house seat is half of what they just did a television buy for this 1 week. Yeah. And it shows that the DeSantis machine, the Republican Florida machine, has money to burn. And they're a lot like Governor Newsom in California. He hasn't even campaigned this year, and he's up for re-election next week. Hasn't even campaigned. He's bought ads in Florida. He's bought ads in billboards. So it's we're kind of California. We're kind of red California in that there's just money to burn, and they don't care because they already know they're going to win. Now they're just pouring extra whipped cream on top.
Well, 2 quick points on that. One, Carlos Guillermo Smith is the perfect example of a public servant. He traffics in pavement politics. I am sure that he and his entire team are knocking on doors and have been for months. Yeah. If there is anyone who can overcome this barrage in spending, it's Carlos. The second point is on Governor Ron DeSantis. This is not just about defeating Carlos Guillermo Smith. This is Ron DeSantis getting to play kingmaker.
Yeah.
And that's important for 2024 when he's going to have to go against Donald Trump in the Republican primary. He's trying to say, go with me. I am the one who can actually, build power for our party. He's trying to kneecap Donald Trump.
Yeah. I'm a student of history. I really very, very much like history. And DeSantis in this example, in terms of how he's turned his attention, he intentionally gerrymandered this district. This is not a candidate that could not win. Just 24 months ago, he won the district by 9 points. What the governor did is go in and change the district and move a traditional Orange County, Orlando district, more blue, more liberal, to bring in Seminole County on the northern side, which was more conservative. It changed 10 points because of just that gerrymandering change. And that gerrymandering change was over the objection of the GOP party in Tallahassee. The governor vetoed it and said, this is what we're going to do. And this was one of the outcomes. And Guillermo Smith is a target because the governor specifically wanted to do that. That's gerrymandering. Before the court is able to rule whether that is legal or not, this will be resolved. So he wins. That's what he's done. And of course, the gigantic sums of money that are being spent in this. It reminds me, in my student of history, of the power of DeSantis is representative of the power of ancient Rome. Caesar could not be denied. And that's what we're watching right now. And that's why we're all so befuddled, because we don't know how to oppose Caesar. And he's living in Tallahassee right now. And we've got to figure out how Brutus.
One interesting point before we move on, it's actually about Charlie Crist. And I don't know if you knew this, Al, but Charlie Crist is a Florida State University alumni. So my final point on that.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
So just like John on you, really, right? LGBTQ plus news is vital for our community and for the broader world as a whole. We have enough enemies at Fox News. Tucker, Sean, and Laura are loud. We need passionate allies. Happening Out Television Network, Queer News Tonight, and It's Happening Out are literally out of the closet and into the headlines. Our community needs your support. Like this broadcast and subscribe now to ensure the growth of the entire LGBTQ plus community.